Views expressed are those of the individuals and do not necessarily reflect those of their employers. Here we go, the first episode of the SPWLA. You guys ready? We need high energy.
Ready.
3, 2, 1. Let's go! Now, Andy, what's your thoughts on introducing him and what his contributions have been to the SPWLA from your opinion, your perspective? Robert begins.
Well, I've had the pleasure of working with Bob on several different occasions with several different companies now.
Wow.
So I've been quite fortunate. I'm definitely biased. I've had some great opportunities to work with Bob, and I'm thankful for that. I've been involved with Bob all the way back to service company days, and for me that was back with what was the Canadian Well Logging Society at that point in time, when you had petrophysicists getting together with geologists and geophysicists for the geo conventions that we used to host, and then that translated into the SPWLA in the Middle East, and we used to host the luncheons or dinners in Abu Dhabi, and at that point in time I was attending them, and Bob was heavily involved in them as well, and then further on into Bakersfield, where Bob had been running the chapter and had been involved in it before I ended up moving to Bakersfield. Eventually I ended up becoming the chapter president there, and we were a little bit of an island there, and it was always nice to be able to bring folks in. The SPWLA has its Distinguished Speakers program. It was a great resource for a chapter like Bakersfield to be able to bring folks in and be able to have some technical talks that we maybe wouldn't have locally otherwise. But we had a great pool of local resources as well.
Yeah. And so you look at it, pick a number, Barnett Shale, 17 years from idea, George Mitchell, to making it work. You look at today, we can go into a new basin, and that cycle is probably 3 years or less.
Jeez. Wow. From discovery wells to drilling, connecting dots.
What we know today on being able to understand that subsurface rock, understand the fluids, how it's going to flow, is you can go through and start making those type of decisions that much earlier. As I said, it's a fascinating industry, and it's only going to get more fun. Andy's comment on where we're going with AI and stuff is one of the other things. I'm happy that the SPWLA, we started a digital initiative in the last year in going out. How do we leverage? If you look at the curated database of formation evaluation and core information, the best in the world resides within the SPWLA and the SCA, the Society of Core Analysis, which is one of our chapters. And so how do you make that available so a young person that's coming out of college, they may have done some research or whatever, has the ability to go out there and say, what's all been done on understand permeability in carbonates?
Yeah.
It's one of the most difficult things to understand. But if you can pull all that up, condense it, and ask us specific questions, what model works best if I have a limestone dolomite mix? Moves them way ahead, makes them more productive quicker.
Now, what is your position at Halliburton?
So Halliburton, I am the chief geoscientist. And so I work for both our Sperry unit and our wireline unit, so everything formation evaluation. And within that, I have a group of SMEs. And so we cover everything that goes from mud logging all the way out to mature field development. Wow. It's a small team, and all of them are very experienced, and so we can wear multiple hats on working on projects. And so with that, we have two level of clients. We have the internal ones, so we support our business units or regions on specific projects, or we go out, we liaison with clients if they have a challenge, and we can help from a understanding of that in recommendations going forward. We help in that aspect.
Man, I'm always fascinated that at the service company, especially at that level, Halliburton, right? You guys have so much equipment and people and jobs coming in, and you need that equipment and the data gathering and the understanding of what we're doing today to be precise and perfect, and it's repeatable. But at the same time, you have someone that's thinking, how can we make it better? What's changing?
That's what makes it fun. I mean, I look at it, it's one of the things that has amazed me. Is if you go back, there used to be a wireline logging tool that was an ultra deep resistivity. It was for mapping salt domes in Gulf of America. So this goes back to the 80s. And you look at it as, well, we can see it, that's about it, right? And you look at what we do today with ultra deep azimuthal resistivity. In our case, it's a Earth star. And not only do we look around the hole, and you look based on the resistivity contrast, that may be a couple hundred feet. So imagine I can look up, down, sideways, a couple hundred feet. I can look ahead of the bit. I can stop at faults. And I'm going for a well placement. And so you start looking at chasing thin oil rims.
Right.
Or from a production, I'm doing an offshore well. I don't want to be too low in the oil column because I'm going to pull water in. I want that well positioned perfectly so I get the optimum lifespan out of that.
Yeah.
And we can get to that point. The advantage is, let's say we've got a 3-mile lateral and it turns out half a mile is non-productive. You go ahead and do the stimulation because the completion, the stimulation will cost more than drilling the well, by far. And will we get there? Yes, I do think we will, just because of the accumulating of all this information, being able to put it back to what the production is. And so how do we get more of this information? You look at, there's actually been an increased use of fiber, disposable fiber. It's one of the things we do is
disposable.
Yeah, see, you're drilling a whole pad, so you have vacant wells that you can use to get information while you're stimulating other zones.
Wow.
Before, you used to have to put fiber on the casing, and that was expensive. The cost went down. It's still expensive. So I can probably do at least 3 wells, maybe 4, with the disposable fiber, what it costs to put 1 permanent in.
Wow.
So all of a sudden, I got this real huge influx of information that I can then go back and say, oh, this is how the reservoir is performing. One of the things that we found, we've had this understanding of stress shadowing and stimulation for years. But we found as we get more of this information, it's actually much more pronounced than we thought it was. It covers a larger area. So now that gets back to then optimizing the order that you frack wells makes a difference.
Wow.
Dear, I really do hope that we have an opportunity to reach an entirely new audience and try to share these messages. I mean, I'm sitting here, every time I speak with Bob, I come away energized. I'm learning from you and I'm feeling the energy from you from doing these podcasts. And I mean, that lifts me up and it wants me to, it makes me want to go out there and continue to do, to learn, to continue to engage, and to continue to be a part of the society.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that in bringing this to other folks, that we get to do that with many more people to come as this society continues to go.
We'd be honored to do that. We'd be honored to do that. And the passion is likewise seeing all this and hearing all this, and you want to make better wells. You want to do a better job when you get back to the office. You want to apply it a different way. You're thinking about it a different way. Like, these things are uplifting. These events uplift the societies, uplift petrophysics. They uplift what they're, what we're getting out of these shows. And so we're honored to be a part of that. Thank you for your time, Bob.
Well, I want to thank you for joining us. Hopefully we can make it an annual event. You'll have to start looking ahead. Next year in France is the perfect place to do this and have a lot of fun.